What's up, guys? What is up? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 69. One away from the big 7-0. As always, we're your hosts for the evening. I'm Steve Ushler, and joined alongside me, as always, it is my good friend and co-host, George Manchai. What's up, bro?
What up, guys? What's up, man? How's it going?
Man? It's going well, man. It's been a little bit of a busy week, so it's honestly kind of moved fast, right? It's transition, so kind of hard to believe that it's already almost Friday. Well, I'm sure the same on your end. But ultimately, guys, tonight, if you saw in the promotions, and we're about to drop a little another intro real quick, but if you saw, we are tonight talking about a highly requested topic that has kind of come to us. Particularly, a lot of people have reached out to me on it. A lot of women that I know, like on the law of attraction. Kind of, we're going to break down what it is. We'll go into specifics, and we'll also talk to you how you can utilize it to your advantage in life. But there is a kicker, so stay tuned to that, because there is going to be a little bit of a kicker that kind of comes with this that I'm going to talk about. But this has been a highly requested topic. We've never covered it before, and it's something that George and I we know a decent amount of information on it. I did have to do a little bit of research, but we kind of understand this a little bit from back in our days when we did a lot of reading and stuff. We kind of know about this topic a little bit, so I'm glad that I actually had kind of forgotten that a lot of people had requested this previously. So when we were thinking of topics, I'm like, you know what, we never did cover this. So I'm happy that we're getting around to it. Guys, we're going to be right with you, and we're going to honestly start delivering on the content, but we're going to play our intro as always. And then we'll hop into it. How's that sound, George? Sound good?
Good to me, bro. Positive. Let's keep going. Let's go with it.
Don't look down, just keep your head or you'll finish.
All right, guys. All right. What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back at the little transition there. The Locked In Podcast, episode 69. As we just said, if you guys are just tuning in, we're going to be talking about the law of attraction tonight. We're going to be breaking down what it is, how to utilize it to your advantage. Stay tuned towards the end because we do have a kicker. Guys, you know we cover everything on here. And George, I know me and you were actually texting behind the scenes about this earlier before the deadline kind of hit. We talk about everything here. So although we're talking personal development tonight, we do talk sports and music as well as some other things. But the
Media.
big sports rumor, guys, I mean, the big sports thing that happens today, obviously, if you live in Philadelphia like we do, was the James Harden move. The Philadelphia 76ers, I'm sure you probably have heard, we did obtain James Harden from the Brooklyn Nets. So I had to just drop that. We attained Paul Millsap for Ben Simmons, 2 first-round picks, Steph Curry, and Andre Drummond. So I just wanted to kind of make that relevant. So, we'll hop into this in just 1 second. But, man, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts, dude? I'll let George go for a second. But, yeah, honestly, guys, drop what your comments were, what your thoughts were.
I'm not moving the car. I'm fucking crazy.
I was honestly a little shocked that the move actually happened. George, what were your thoughts on that, man? On the Harden?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. Right? I mean, but we got Harden. But I mean, I'm glad that fucking Ben Simmons left. I couldn't stand that guy, man. I can't stand Ben Simmons, man. Anybody here that doesn't like Ben Simmons, raise your hand. I don't like the kid. I feel like he's a bitch. He's a diva and he cries about everything. Thank God. Philly's not a place for soft kids like that with they fake everything and want everything to kind of hand it to them. Like now, I was tired of hearing about Ben Simmons. Never cared for him too much. Good player, good riddance. That's all. Yeah. I mean, my thoughts exactly. I mean, I wish the kid the best, but you know what? You kind of screwed this city over. So at the same time, a big fu. I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I was a Ben Simmons fan. Have the kid's jersey, but he wasn't doing us any good this year. So people that like it, I know a lot of people. He fell off.
I know a lot of people that didn't like the move. The only reason why, I'm a little worried about the move is because we got rid of Andre Drummond, who is Joel Embiid's backup. So Embiid essentially doesn't really have a backup center right now. If we could have kept Drummond, I would have been super happy with this move. I mean, I am happy. I'm just not as happy as I would have been. Obviously, you're bringing a top 10 talent in James Harden into this Philadelphia 76ers. So obviously a big move, and the pick and roll with Embiid is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Overall, though, Ben Simmons was generating you nothing this year. He wasn't playing. So ultimately, you're just giving up Seth Curry, Andre Drummond for James Harden and Paul Millsap. It's a 2-player trade because Ben Simmons wasn't offering you with anything anyway. And there's no guarantee he's even going to play for Brooklyn this year. I assume that he will, but, you never know with that kid. FJ in the house. I saw my boy Bill Plymouth. I think this is Bill's first time actually checking in tonight. So, Bill, what's going on, man? Appreciate the support. We'll have to get you on eventually, man. FJ in the house.
Some people on.
FJ in the house, me and Father Judge. High school, obviously. Big support for the FJ gang.
Gang.
Class of 2011. So yeah, just wanted to drop that Sixers news just real quick.
No, I seen it, bro. That was hilarious. What you sent me, you like something about what'd you say? You said Harden.
The strip clubs. Yeah, you work at Delilah's, man. So I said keep the eye out, man. Harden's definitely gonna be down there.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. No, but guy's been there before. He probably has been there in the past. A lot of guys go to Delilah's, and having him now, it's like okay, we'll see how everything kind of goes.
Yeah, he's a big.
But are you excited for this move? I mean, for this, I guess, trade off for this, leaving Ben for getting Harden.
Yeah, of course, dude. Because I mean, like Ben Simmons was offering you nothing. I mean, what are you going to get out of Ben Simmons? And I mean, you got a superstar. That's what you wanted. You wanted a Damian Lillard, a Bradley Beal, or a James Harden. You got James Harden. So I mean, you didn't give him up for peanuts. You literally moved Simmons and a player that wasn't going to play for us. He was never going to come back. He was never going to play for us.
Yeah, but Simmons didn't want to play though, right? Wasn't he kind of like it's almost like he did? I mean, how many games did he play now this season? From
none, bro, none. He didn't play none, bro. He wasn't coming back. Like he was done with the Sixers. He's just been sitting out. No, he's healthy.
So what the fuck was he doing then? He was just like in space.
Yeah. No, he was just not playing. He was getting fined. He's like, I'm not playing after last year because he didn't like the way Embiid talked to him and stuff. He didn't like the way the fans treated him. So he just said he wasn't.
When they fucking handled him his ass and they told him the truth and he just didn't want to hear it. It's not what you want to hear. It's what you need to hear too, man. Ben Simmons is a diva, man. Never liked the kid. I mean, he was a good player, but
I agree. I don't want to get too far off topic and start talking Sixers. We could talk a whole episode on this. We'll jump
do one. I mean, next time.
We'll jump into the law of attraction. Basically, just talking about kind of what it is, guys. George, I know you even had a book. It wasn't exactly what was it? That was the
power.
What was the name of the book again? The law of power or the?
No, it's just called. So you have The Secret, which is exactly based on the law of attraction, and it's the same, actually the same editor and the same author. Let me see. It's her name is Rhonda. I just can't remember her last name. Oh yeah, Rhonda Byrne or something like that. So this is the book right here. It's called The Power. You guys see this? Let me see right here. Perfect. As you can see right here, see that it's a secret. So in other words, it's like a continuation, a sequel to the book wise to The Secret. So it's called The Power.
Cool.
Very good book, bro. I got this book in 2011. I remember I bought it at like a Target. I was looking for a secret. I found this. So when I looked at it, I had read The Secret, but I actually went to own it. I couldn't find it that day, but I found this, so I got like number 2. So it's like if you read The Secret, you understand this book very well. It's a good, it's a very good book, but it's a very good book. It tells you a little bit right here from the author. I mean, some of the, thank yous and shout outs and exactly what this book meant to the author. Again, her name is Rhonda Byrne. She's the one that wrote The Secret, which is based on the laws of attraction 100%, and he talks a lot about them. Actually, I got The Secret too. I don't know where it is. If I can't find it, I'm have to order on Amazon, but I actually have The Secret. I actually used to have that, but I don't know where it is ever now. But yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so
I've listened to in terms of laws, I've listened to the 48 Laws of Power, and I've also listened to the 50th Law, which is actually it's narrated by. I listened to the audiobook by Robert Greene and 50 Cent. Very, very good book as well, guys. It's actually one of my favorite books. It's honestly top 5 for me. 50th Law, I can listen to it over and over again. Audiobook wise, it's about a 7.5 hour audiobook, but if you guys haven't listened to it, definitely check it out. Some really, really solid insight. Robert Greene's more of a scholar, but when he kind of combines 50 Cent's kind of, representation of the struggle and kind of what he went through to get where he was, it's kind of cool how they collaborate. They came from 2 different paths, and the way that they're kind of able to put together. I absolutely love that book. Like,
it's a good book, bro. I need to get my hands on it as well. I know it's an Audible, but the Audible books and
you can get the physical copy too if you actually want to
copy. Of course, you can hear it. I haven't heard. I mean, I did read parts of it, but Laws of Power is a very good book. And now, if we're going to talk honestly, we're going to need a whole other episode talk about the laws of power, which are in turn kind of connected to the laws of the physics, laws of the universe, basically, which is kind of connected to the laws of attraction and the laws of attraction, which is its own little thing. If some people are wondering, well, what's the difference between or a small distinction between the laws of power and the laws of attraction? Well, think about it this way: the laws of attraction, you talk, think, and you go. You make yourself, you put those vibes in the universe to get something, to obtain something, to get it. The laws of power are when you do that, but also kind of like how to deal with in order to kind of be able to do that, to attract things. In order to have the knowledge, in order to not let others sort of like have one up on you, but you kind of like you understand how things work, the nature of people, men, women. And this also, by the way, let's not get it twisted. This could tie up also with the whole alpha male strategy stuff, the dating stuff we talked about, which actually we didn't talk about that. We talked about dating.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Dating and attraction are in it for sure.
So it's a bigger spectrum of what that is. I mean, that's just one. There we go. Thank you. Perfect.
Speaking of the universe.
There we go. That's good. That's a good one, bro. So yeah, it's like the laws of like kind of nature of human nature. That's how the laws of power are. It tells you how to get power, how to be in power, what to do. Say less, hear more. Small things you got to do to understand. And it's got to do with psychology of the human mind and with the mind, which in turn, again, it's directly connected to the laws of attraction. And like we just said, now the law of attraction don't just apply to you wanting to buy a car or some sneakers and you attracted, or you can attract a lot of things. You can think about people that you haven't heard of or seen in a long time, even women, and by you thinking about them, it's like you're calling them. It's kind of like through your mind. It's really like, really cool, bro. I know it's hard to explain, but you put the energy out there, and that person might think of me the next day, like, for some reason they'll call you. I got a call from somebody I was thinking about, and then they called me. It was weird how that worked. Just thinking about them, and next thing I got a call. I was thinking about somebody, and then as I think about him, I got a call right away. Now this somebody I talk to a lot, so it maybe it's like it could just be like, well, we talk all the time, and he just called me. But I mean, it's true, bro. Using your mind, bro, it's great. Yo, real quick, by the way. Also, I recommend this movie called Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. You guys should watch the movie. You should watch it, Steve. It's very, very good. It's got a lot to do with the laws of universe, the laws of attraction and power, and a lot of like the mind control. It's a dope movie. I didn't watch the whole thing yet. I watched like about 70% of it. I was watching in my man's crib, but then I ended up leaving, going home, and I just kind of fell asleep. But I was watching it. Very good movie. It's got to do again with the universe you just posted and the human mind and psychedelics and the stuff that we're talking about, like the stuff that Joe Rogan's talking about, DMT and all that. It's got a lot to do with stuff like that, but a little more sort of like in depth. And he kind of explains a little about it too. He explains about how I don't want to spoil the movie, but you kind of they were kind of had kidnapped her. Scarlett Johansson, that was Lucy, and they put something in her, some kind of drug or some kind of compound that made her like relive memories, and it was very very deep. I mean, it was a very good movie, and then she has obviously she's got powers, and yeah, I mean the movie's dope, bro. It's a very good movie. Also, they got Morgan Freeman in it, so he definitely ties in exactly what we're talking about and some of the topics that we're bringing tonight.
Okay, well noted, man. I'll definitely
it's
have
called
to.
Lucy. Yeah, definitely. I'll text it to you if anything. But you and people watching the show, and definitely Mary. I see Mary's in here. You guys should watch the movie. It's a really good movie, and it's a good movie. It's action packed. It's a lot of stuff that you might not get right away, but when you watch it, you understand it. You understand what I'm talking about as you watch the movie and as it progresses.
Noted. I'll definitely have to check it out. Just wanted to kind of it was very well said, actually, kind of what you said right before the movie part. How you attract things in life. It's weird how those types of things happen, right? Like I've had that happen to me before too, when you're thinking about somebody and then out of nowhere they kind of reach out to you. I'm not saying that type of stuff happens all the time, but it's weird, like how the universe is kind of like it just happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Or have you ever had something where like you do feel like deja vu, like whether you dreamt about it or like whether you literally seen something earlier, like in the week or earlier in the month, and you're like, it just kind of made you think of that, and then later on that actually happens, or like, and you don't know where, like you're like, where do I remember like seeing this from? Whether it was in your dreams or you actually it happened in real life, and then like you thought of it in real life or you thought of it when you were unconscious. It's kind of weird how those things happen,
dude. It's a lot, bro. And if I can add on to something, bro, there's stuff that happens to me that I need to like talk to like an expert, to some kind of psychologist. I can't explain it. Like, I don't know how to explain this. Let me see. I'm trying to put this, like, read my mind and tell it here to the audience and to you. I'll be one place, right? A thought comes to my mind. Then a thought comes to my mind, maybe something that happened. But it's always associated with some kind of something, another small thought. So say like I drive by some place and I was there like last week. I did my windows, I tinted my windows there, and also the car wash there. Something with that place, and this is a memory that always comes up, and I'll know that I had the same thought like 3 months ago when I thought about the same place, the same thing. It's weird how that happens. It's like small things that are ingrained in your brain, whether it's deja vu or recurring memory, something you've seen it again, a place you've been, and it might trigger back or not channel, but like sort of like evoke some, sort of like thoughts and memories. So that's what it is. You're just kind of evoking. It's like evoking spirits, but you're evoking memories.
Yeah, it's like the key word is like manifestation.
It's like a manifestation, but it's like bro, it's like it comes back. I'm like, yo, why does the same vision, the same thought, the same sort of like vision thought, so to speak, come when I do this thing or when I see something? It's weird. But I don't know. Maybe it's just my mind, but I notice that a lot. And they definitely like deja vu. Like you ever notice that? Like, you have moments like you felt like you had that thought before, the same exact thought, but in a different related to a different context, or maybe the same place. You like something goes, oh yeah, I remember that. Like sometimes because we've been there, like our mind and our heart or our spirit are kind of like they remember that particular person, place, event, time, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's a projection of energy. Basically, guys, just kind of like we're just kind of talking out of our own experiences here. But I do want to break down just kind of what the law of attraction is for you guys from the notes that I have, from like what I've learned on it, and then just kind of like from what I've looked at, researched on it too. So I want to kind of compare. So basically, what I put together was like the law of attraction. In my opinion, it's what it is. It's a philosophy, and it suggests that positive thoughts bring about positive results into a person's life, while negative thoughts bring about the negative consequences, negative outcomes. It's based on the belief that thoughts are a form of energy and that positive energy attracts success in all areas of life, including these are George. This is actually just what we talked about with the dating part, relationships, finances, and health. We talk on personal development all the time, guys. It's there's like the three main portions. They're the three main areas of personal development. There's other things like travel, fashion, all these other petty things. But honestly, your health, your finances, and your relationships are usually the top three. So honestly,
your relationship with people,
there you go.
Finances.
Wow. And
right. Well, yeah, wealth.
While it's
health is wealth.
Generated the attention in recent years. Yeah. Ironically, bro, you were talking about The Secret. And honestly, in my notes, bro, that's what I kind of put together is like while the law of attraction has generated a lot of attention in recent years due to books like The Secret, it lacks scientific evidence for its claims, to be honest, and it's generally viewed a lot of times as a pseudoscience. So I honestly kind of do believe in the law of attraction, but you're going to see at the end, there is a kicker. You're going to see action and behaviors have something to do with it. Like you can't just something you might get lucky, but here's the thing: majority of the time, you can't just believe positively that something's going to happen without behavior, intent, and action behind it. So just stay to the end, and we'll kind of break that down.
Well, we can break it down easy. You need behavior, bro. By you
Yes, you
speaking
need
something to
action.
existence, you're
You need
exactly so.
intention.
Right. It starts with your thought. You think about it, right? You think about, again, financial freedom and doing things, you say it. Now you believe it. So it's like a mental, you're saying it, so it's like your body and your spirit because you feel it. You feel it then, but it's not enough though. Now you got to kind of go out there, sort of like out for it. And, you can say out your way, but it's not really out the way because, I mean, it's something you want. So it's actually in the way and you're going for it. And, like, next thing you know, you're doing actionable steps too. Like you said, it's a philosophy, sort of like connected to like philosophy and like a lot of it. I mean, the universe should be like theology and some of like again, it's got to do with mystics and like alchemy and all that. But however, it's not necessarily magic. That's so true. People are thinking it's more about the energy to bring in to attract things you want and to kind of like you align them so they actually kind of come to you. But it's also trickier than that. You don't come to you. You kind of go to them. They can come to you. For example, you want a car, you work for one, you got the money. Now it's all about finding the right one. So now you're doing the steps. Your mind is telling you, go online, look at like auctions, call your friend, or maybe you got a couple DMs like, yo, bro, I got a car for you. Sometimes you be that way too. You notice that again. That's a prime example. Somebody, a friend of yours knows you need a car. They saw something, they send you a DM. You're good to go. Boom, boom, boom. Everything goes well. You go look at the car. Now it's like, okay, now I look at the car. I might buy, might not buy, but you kind of came to you, and it might just so happen it's a car you like or something's good for you. And this is one example.
Funny you say about a car, man. Have you ever bought a car and all you could do was actually think about that brand, that model of that car, and then once you buy it, you realize when you're actually like driving home from the dealership that you see that car everywhere. Like you wind up seeing that car everywhere. Like you never saw that car like you do before. But see, when you focus on something, you tend to see it more. You ever get that? Like say like you go out and you buy a Honda Civic and like, all right, Honda Civics are popular cars. So let's just say something like say you go out and you buy like a suburban, you buy like a suburban truck, and like you honestly just like a suburban, and then you're driving home from the dealership, and then you start to see Suburbans everywhere. Like you know what I mean? Like when you focus on something a ton, then you start to like actually see it. And you're like, wow.
You start to notice it more.
Yeah, it has something to do with the law of attraction as well. Some other notes that I kind of have here is just that. So advocates are actually suggesting from things I've seen that the central universal principles that make up the law of attraction are comprised of three different portions. So there's three principles that they kind of suggest. Number one, like attracts like. Number two, nature abhors a vacuum. And number three, the other one I saw was the present is always perfect. So I'll break down each one of those just very briefly. Like attracts like, what that ultimately suggests is that similar things are attracted to one another. It means that people tend to attract people who are in fact similar to them. But it also suggests that people's thoughts tend to attract similar results.
Yeah.
Negative thinking is believed to attract negative experiences, while positive thinking is obviously known and believed to produce desirable experiences. So it's just like attracts like. The other side of it on the nature of abhors a vacuum, basically what this principle kind of suggests in the laws of attraction is that removing negative things from inside of your own life can make space for the positive things to take their appropriate place. So it's based on the notion that it is impossible to have a completely empty space in your mind and in your life, since something will always fill this space. When you remove something, something else has to fill. So when you remove the negative, the positive can take position. Since something will always fill the space, it is important to fill that space with the positivity proponents instead of negative proponents. Easier said than done, but you can do it with practice. That's why the power of positive thinking is so important. And the final principle is that the present is always perfect. Basically, what this means is this principle of the law focuses on the idea that you can always do things to improve your present moment. You're never perfect. Like the present is always the most perfect time. You can't think about the future. You can't worry about your past. But what you do inside this moment today, what you do tomorrow, tomorrow's the future, but what you do now is what is perfect. You can always do something to improve your moment now. While it always may seem that the present is somehow flawed, ultimately this principle proposes that rather than being in feeling dread or unhappiness, you should focus that energy on finding ways to make the present moment the best that it can possibly be. As I said, a lot of times easier said than done, especially if you're going through a doom and gloom time, something bad has happened in your life. But as you kind of practice this, you'll kind of understand how it works. But the one thing, I mean, that this is the one thing about the law of attraction that I will say is like you can't be positive and happy all the time. You could take but I do want to say that you can maybe take negative experiences, like feelings that you're going through. You should always address your feelings. Like
right.
even as men, we're told, right, to be logical, not to really be emotional. And while that is true, it's all right to still feel something without being too emotional about it. But you do need to take the time to address your emotions, and maybe you can turn something positive out of it, I would say. So I would say the law of attraction is not perfect. It's definitely a little bit flawed, but there is some truth to it for sure. Positive thinking is going to allow you to create the actions necessary, I think, to get the ball rolling in order to attract positive things into your life.
Right.
And if
it starts with that.
Have you ever hung around someone that constantly complains and just negative all the time? It drains your energy. We've talked about this before. It drains your energy. You don't want to be around.
Complain all the time, bro. Point fingers. It's like the energy you use to complain, use it for something more positive to kind of create something. And again, laws of attractions fall under that. You create. But here's the thing too. There's also a difference between complaining all the time or bitching and nagging, and somebody who's just like frustrated and complains for the time being. We all have complained. You have. Every person on earth probably has. But when you're constantly complaining, it's like you're not leaving yourself room for improvement, for your mind to think logically and smart. Because when you're complaining, it's like you're just kind of like just giving like your insecurities, your feelings inside, whatever you're feeling, frustrations. And again, that's okay. But if you're doing it all the time, then you kind of hold yourself back. And again, you're only as good as you feel and you think. But if you're a complainer, all you're gonna do is, I mean, you'll achieve some stuff, sure, but you're gonna be kind of known as a complainer. And every time the going gets rough, it's like a mental thing. It's literally a mental weakness. You just complain. Nah, don't complain. Just kind of go for it and just make things a little better. Like I was complaining earlier about something, regarding something important I got to do, but I said, you know what? I'll just go out there and buy it. I'll take care of it. I'll fix the situation. Earlier, I talked to you. Remember I told you? And this might still happen, by the way. Knock on wood. I might have to take this outside. Like as we speak, I might have to get my laptop and go outside with it. I got the dog outside. Long story short, I had my dog today.
But see, you developed a solution. You're like, okay, what can I do to move it forward? See, that's the thing. You didn't just sit there with your arms crossed, like complaining, like, oh damn, I'm kind of pissed off. Like,
I know what to do, bro. I know what to do exactly. Now I feel much better. We're doing a podcast. Things got a little better. Because today, you know what it was? It's too much came up at once, like way too much. I had to go do this, do that. I was close to not making a podcast, so I'm like, well, I want to do it. I'm like, all right, I told my folks I could do it later. I had to go get a piece of furniture, a table. But it all fell in like 6 o'clock. I'm like, well, 6 o'clock. I got to be back by 6:30. Like, how am I going to do this? Luckily, everything resolved, bro. Sometimes, bro, things are a mess in your head, but God has a better way of doing things. And again, the law of attraction above are a way where everything's will be okay later. You know what I mean? Like, but you might seem foggy. It might seem like a little like everything's a mess. Everything's hard. And at the end of the day, everything gets resolved, bro. Which is what I tell people too. Like, it's okay to plan at a time. Don't play way too ahead of time and don't plan too much. Keyword, don't plan too much ahead of time. Plan just enough to, so when you're able to kind of achieve what you want to achieve and see, because you don't want to get frustrated and be like, well, the law of attraction doesn't work. It does work, bro. It's what do you call, how you say it? Pseudoscience. Pseudoscience, I think it's called. It's really science.
Pseudoscience, yeah.
Pseudoscience, sorry. I was saying it wrong. Pseudoscience. Hold on. Something in my tooth. What that does is like it connects science with, again, theories or hypotheses that we have, like college professors of hypotheses, with kind of like, with like supernatural sort of stuff, again, regarding the universe, regarding things that we don't have a proof of, but there's proof out there. And that connects to like, pseudoscience connects to like, again, psychedelics, a great psychedelic experience. People that do shrooms, people that do DMT, dimethyltryptamine, people that, do like acid and say that a good trip. Some people come back more productive. They have some, like awakening. They have an awakening. I mean, at times some don't. Some see the small steps and the immediate future. But everybody has a decent experience. It's just everybody's different, so they might see their version of their experience.
It's unique, right? D'Angela actually dropped something deep below. So she says sometimes in thinking realistically, it ultimately might come off as pessimistic. Yet it may be a defense mechanism to be prepared for failure or a different outcome. That's actually pretty deep, realistically.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And she also said, what's going on? And then she also said before, I think that people who think think being logical rather than emotional or emotionally unattached. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like we as like men, a lot of times, right? They always say that men think with logic. We always say this, and women think with emotions a lot of times, right? And like that's not like trying to be like a sexist like remark or anything like that.
Right.
A lot of times this is kind of how it is. But I mean, we do have emotion. That's the thing. Like a lot of times people like to cover up their emotion, but sometimes being vulnerable isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, just you're supposed to be strong as a man, right? But like you obviously need to have emotional intelligence and be in tune with your emotions and feeling things. Because if you literally just go cold all the time and you literally don't take the time to address your emotions, whether it's like when you're behind the scenes with yourself, that honestly
in front of the
lead down a
mirror
dark road.
with somebody else.
I'm not a psychologist, but like
Right. Yeah, no, I feel you, bro. And that's the thing. Sometimes you got to look at the men in the mirror to say it's an old thing that the older folks, like our parent age, would kind of, which really means you by yourself in the mirror and address yourself. See, you
and
look
talk
at
to
yourself in the
people.
mirror. You got to be able to feel comfortable with yourself. Have you done something wrong? Do you feel like you need to improve?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do that. Nobody's perfect. Sometimes you gotta like ask yourself for some answers. They can't answer for you. You can't. I mean, like I can't answer. He can. You gotta do yourself sometimes. You be that way. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest. I was always the guy like that never wanted to ask people for help anytime, like all the time. And I still somewhat am like that, but I've gotten much better with it. Like honestly, just you have to accept like when like you need help and you need like with things.
You can't change, right?
I used to be the guy like at work, and I'll be honest, like if any of my Lowe's guys are watching this, they'll know I was the guy that would like take down like 5 million different things, and like I would never ask for help. You know what I mean? I would never ever want to ask for help. I guess I was just too prideful, realistically, and like I just liked relying on myself, and a lot of times I do, still, but I honestly know like in situations where I do need help, and I've gotten much better with it. But I mean, like everybody can be vulnerable sometimes. It's all right. Talk to people that you honestly trust, people that aren't gossips, like people that actually will listen to you and be able to give you advice, and people that are honestly true friends to you or family. Sometimes friends are family, but
sometimes sometimes friends are like more than family even. But I mean, it's good to to be able to ask you for help. Yeah, I said.
She said, I hate asking people for help as well. People do things from the heart nowadays only for some form of validation.
Yeah, true.
Not everybody, but a lot of people do. You're absolutely right. It's not all people, but definitely a lot of people. You're definitely right. And I've seen it myself for sure, as I know if George has. I just kind of want to dive in. We've been having a pretty good discussion here. People hate asking for help. Yep, 100%, D'Angelo. I was just reading the other thing on below. All right, so I just want to break this down. We've been having actually really good discussion here, and guys, appreciate the feedback. If anybody's watching hasn't commented in, guys. Definitely want to engage with you guys, and we'll definitely give you your credit and put you up on the screen, for sure. If you guys actually want to come in, comment below too. We'll shoot the link. I haven't actually put it in the comment section. I know in the promos I said I would. If you guys actually do want to join, just drop your comment in this, and we'll throw the link in when you're on YouTube or Facebook. If you actually want to join on and time allows it, you know what I mean. So basically, I want to break down how you can, and George, you can add to this, how you can use the law of attraction to your advantage. There's some things you can do to incorporate this into your own life and utilize it to your advantage. Action does have to go behind it. Basically, number one, gratitude. Practice gratitude and be grateful. I know that sounds pretty obvious, but you have to be grateful and you have to be humble before you can instill positive thinking.
Yeah.
If you're just a selfish person, you can't think of anything you're grateful for. Just and you're gonna see the actions you can take to do this. But practice gratitude, visualize your goals, actually visualize what you want to accomplish and why you want it. So that's a critical one. Always understand what your why is. If you want to lose weight, why do you want to lose weight? Do you want to lose weight because you want to look good, or do you want to look good for somebody else? If you want to focus on your finances, why? Maybe you want to get a nice house. Maybe you want to buy a nice car. Maybe you want to show off for other people. Some people are. It's validation, and they want to show off, or they want to try to fit in with other people. I don't think that's a good reason, but be honest with yourself if that's the reason why. Is it maybe just because you want to be financially free and you don't want to have to worry about money ever again? Why do you want to improve your relationships? Like, why do you want to get into a relationship if you're not in one? Do you just want companionship? Do you want someone to be able to share your life with? Do you just want to go out and have sex with people? I mean, some people do. I mean, you just want to like hook up or whatever the case may be. Be honest with yourself. Why do you want to improve relationships?
Be honest. I think, bro. Visualize. Can 1 second, Steve?
Yeah, no problem.
I think honesty is really good, bro. Honesty, it's a kind of goes with gratitude. Be honest with yourself first, and know that what you're doing is for the right reasons. If you really want to better your life, because life is to live, the people like it's a game called life. Life's a gift. You got to know how to treat it right. So just take inspiration from somebody inspires you, see how they do things, and just try to kind of do what's best for you. And everybody wants to do well for themselves, but you also got to also show gratitude. Also, see, it's a thing. The rules of attraction don't apply to if you're just selfish. You're just waiting for yourself. That's cool and all. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get something, but you also got to think well for others. Whatever you want for yourself, well, think about somebody else too. Don't think negative somebody else. Even if you don't like the person, you go through a lot or whatever. I mean, it's always better to kind of like try to like let it go, so to speak, and like don't focus on negativity because again, negativity will bring negativity. So actionable steps, thoughts, but you'll start to say with thoughts and gratitude. Without that, I think appreciation, and then kind of like staying humble can make you like a student of the laws of attraction, student of the game, and then now you know what to do. You're watching videos, studying. Meditate too, bro. Meditate about something. Think about meditate in general, or just meditate about something you want. Like meaning that like think about it. Just kind of sit there and just think about it for like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes without saying anything, without kind of clear your mind, and repeat that. Another thing you could do, and this is a trick, write something on a piece of paper, kind of like one of these, right? Like a sticky note or whatever. Stick it on the wall. Whatever your objective is, whether it's like you have an important meet, you have an important presentation, somebody you might want to propose to or meet. You have a match. I knew a friend of mine who did MMA. He was fighting. He had a big fight, and he actually had a picture of the opponent. He actually put it up there. He said, "This, I'm going to fight this guy. I'm going to win," and he won. You believe it so much, we can achieve it. Believe again. It's kind of like it goes to the concept, the famous concept of believe, achieve. How is it? Believe, achieve.
Believe, achieve, and
What's the third one?
I forget what the third one is, man.
No, it's conceive, believe, achieve.
Okay. That's a good point.
Or believe, conceive, achieve. One of those.
I really like how you talked about post-it notes and kind of like making an intention on something. So ironically, and I really actually did not plan this. I always wrote a quote on my whiteboard. I'm not gonna turn the laptop screen around, but I have a whiteboard on my wall behind my computer. And I always like jot things I have to do for work or side hustle or for the podcast. But I do have a quote up there, and my quote this week was from Steve Jobs. It says, "If today was the last day of your life, would you do what you're about to do today?" And I dropped it up on there this week. So just thinking with intention. And it's funny. I just kind of thought of that as I went through this. But that's a great quote. And it's one of my favorite quotes, to be honest. If today was the last day of your life, would you do what you're about to do today? So just think of that. Or would you? If
that's
you're thinking
good, bro. That's so hardcore right now.
Yeah, if you're thinking about being lazy today, think. How would you feel if you died today and you look back? Wow, I wasted that day. Don't waste your day.
Let me tell you something. It could be I could have another 100 years of life. I just don't want to be lazy because looking back, you're like, yeah, we're lazy. But sometimes I'm gonna keep it real, bro. As motivated and disciplined as I try to be sometimes and keep going forward, the laziness sometimes is there, man. I mean, not enough sleep, being tired. But then again, right, all of our days, right? But I don't think I don't think laziness is necessarily being tired. It's just like a mental state. Some days you're not feeling it. You don't feel the motivation enough, which is why I understand why David Goggins says motivation is crap. I mean, you talked about it. I can't say that I agree with him all the way, but he has a good point because discipline it counts as motivation. You need inspiration, motivation. Motivation is one thing. Sometimes I'm inspired and it motivates me. Like you sometimes might inspire me. My other boy might inspire me. Somebody on TV. But I'm just not feeling it. Like, I don't know, man. Then I see something like, no, you're right. And that's it. That's all I need. You need that push a little.
The only reason he says it is because he and you know what? As I get older, you realize it. If you rely on motivation to carry your actions every single day, there's going to be days when you're not motivated. You're not always going to be motivated to do things. Those are the days when it requires discipline to power you through it. You don't want to go to the gym, but you go because you're disciplined. You don't want to, you're feeling stressed, so you want to go out and you want to spend money on something. Or you don't feel like showing up to work today, but you do because you're disciplined. You don't want to say you're out trying to meet people and you're on dating apps or you want to approach. I don't want to approach anybody today. I don't want to go on dating apps. I don't want to swipe and talk to people. But you do it because you're disciplined and you know what your end goal is and what you want to do. Maybe, you don't want to talk to somebody. Maybe because you got somebody is like giving you the silent treatment, but you don't want to be the bigger person. But you do it anyway because you're like, you know what? I'm taking action and accountability for my own life. Every single day, you have to live with intention. That's why I honestly do like the law of attraction, but I do think it is a little bit flawed. I mean, being realistic, I'm honest, I'm transparent. I do think it's a little flawed, and sometimes it can be looked at as a pseudoscience, but there's a lot of things inside the law of attraction that I do align myself with, and I do believe are very true. So I was just going back. I was saying gratitude, visualizing your goals, look for positives inside of a situation, learn how to identify. learn how to identify negative thinking. Understand when you're starting to think a little bit negatively. Use positive affirmations. A lot of people like to do that. They like to use positive affirmations. Basically, all that is like you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, I'm gonna have a great day today. I'm the shit. I'm this. I'm that. So it's like you just, even if you're not feeling it, like fake it till you make it. Like positive affirmations. Just like honestly, like living your day, but like I'm a really, really good person. Like I'm a confident person. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna crush today. Just honestly affirming that for yourself. That's kind of what positive affirmations are. And the last part I had was just reframe negative events in a more positive way. And I touched on that earlier. You know, we deal with negative things. We're gonna have times when our emotions are gonna come out. But George, it's kind of like you said. A negative situation was, you know, you might have to get up and go outside, but you were like, instead of sitting there and just complaining about the situation, you're like, you took time to just complain real briefly. You're like, this sucks. I don't want to do it. Like, but here's the thing. What can I do? Like when this happens, like, okay, well, I can do this. This is the action I can take. So Bryce put, action is the only thing that begets results.
Best results.
100%. You can't just sit there. So you're going to see that. You can't just sit there and just think something's great's going to happen. Positive thinking is important, but it's the oil, it's the gasoline inside the car.
It's going to
get it moving. It's going to start it up. You're going to be able to start. It's the key to turns.
But action is the ultimate, because you get up and you do it. You can think all you want, bro, but you can't do it. It's kind of like when you do a lot of things. Like, for example, let me give you an example. A lot of action, but there's no communication with your mind. You're not really attracting it. You're not thinking about it like positively. You're doing all this and that, but you're dancing in circles. You're just doing it. You waste the energy, but then you take the right steps. So again, you visualize it. You say it over and over. You believe it, but you achieve it. You go and you actually freaking do it, bro. And that's what I think. It's what Bryce is saying. He said it in a different type of way, you know, but.
Yeah,
I mean, I get what Bryce is trying to say. Let me see. Who's this? The biggest mistake I've made was the need for rest, lack of motivation.
Bill, okay. That's a key one, man, because I used to be the same way, Bill. Actually, that's a very good point, Bill. Yeah, so, you know,
I like that.
The need for rest, sometimes we're just so stressed, we're so overwhelmed that we really do need the rest. And that's the thing. Sometimes when we rest, right, we feel like crap about ourselves. We're like, shit, like I'm lazy, I don't have motivation, like I don't have this.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes we do need the rest. So yeah, no, that's actually a good point, man, because you know, sometimes you just start to feel down about yourself because of the fact that you're overwhelmed, you're stressed. I actually know some people personally that are going through a lot right now. And they're the same way. And I think it's important to be there for those friends. Like when people are going through something, it's just like some people just don't understand. They're like, oh, they're lazy. No, well, that's not always the case. You're not, oh, they're not motivated. It's like, no, well, sometimes we need rest. And that's an important differentiator for sure. That's actually a very good
rest
point,
is important, bro, for sure. And it's kind of what I talked about earlier. Like, it's not about, you know, you might think sometimes it's a thing, like your friend was saying, you know, need a rest is lack of motivation. No, sometimes you got to know when, you know, like not to do. I mean, if you don't want to go to the gym one day, but it's not you don't want to go, you just feel like it's better to stay home. By all means, you know, that day stay home. But as long as you go to the gym pretty often and you're reaching, you're checking your goals, you do what you got to do, you're doing it right, you're not slacking. You know, and sometimes, you know, it depends. It depends on the person. Like, I'm the person where me personally, if I go to the gym, I'm going to go. Like, whatever takes me, I'm going to go. I need to put times, I'll go there. Go. I kind of look at all the factors. If I'm today, all right, well, then I push to go because last week, do this. Consistency is key, guys. And also, by the way, let's not, you know, move away from the topic. But here's the thing. Laws of attraction and laws of power and the laws of the universe, or just power itself, which connects the book The Secret with, again, the laws of power that we talked about, the 40 laws. No consistency equals nothing, but no results. If you don't have consistency, you can just pray one day or feel it, or, you know, put the energy in the air, you know, meditate, think about it, say it over and over. You gotta live it, bro. You gotta breathe it and live it. That's how you achieve it.
I want to go off Bryce's point when he said about like positivity and you need action. I just wanted to go off Bryce's point a little bit on the action. You definitely need to put in action. So like if you just think positively, like, oh, I'm going to change my health, but I'm just going to sit in bed today. But you know, and you're thinking positively, I'm really going to change my health, and you're really just thinking like you're confident about yourself. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to change my health. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to gain muscle. I'm going to really work on my health. But then you just sit in bed all day and you're eating like you're just like eating chips or something. Look, if you don't take the action, that, like I said, positivity gets the ball rolling. And, you know, being able to have a power of positive thinking, but you obviously need to take action. I think that's pretty obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people don't think it. I do want to just give a quick little brief note. So notes I take on what the impact of the law of attraction basically is. So while it lacks scientific support, some people look at it as a pseudoscience. Proponents can suggest that it can produce positive changes inside your life. Some reasons why people may experience benefits include multiple things here: spiritual effects, better well-being, are the two things that I came up with here. So spiritual effects. George, we talk a little bit about spirituality here and there, right? And I think people on it. Like, basically, it can tap in. Like, people really do believe that this can tap inside your spirituality. Spirituality.
I think it's connected.
It's connected to a variety of health benefits, including reduced stress, better health, lower depression, just overall well-being. So stress and depression are big things. Those. Many people believe this philosophy works by aligning God and the universe with our wishes. This notion suggests that people are all made of energy. I honestly am a very big believer in energy, but like I said, action does need to back it up. The notion suggests that people are all made of energy, and this energy often operates at different frequencies. So because of this, it is important to change the frequency of our energy with positive thoughts, remove the negative, use gratitude for what we already have. And then better well-being is utilizing the law of attraction. You use it to your advantage, but it may also bring about positive impacts on your mental well-being by focusing on a new reality and by believing it is possible. We tend to take more risks, right? We don't stay complacent. We notice more opportunities that are in front of us, and we open ourselves to new possibilities. Conversely, we don't believe that something is outside of. We don't believe that something is outside of the realm of possibility for us. We tend to let opportunities pass by unnoticed if we think the other way. You know what I mean? So when we honestly believe, George, I think this is definitely something we can think about. So when we believe, right, like I'm sure you've been here, when we believe that we don't deserve good things, we behave in ways that sabotage our chances of happiness. I've seen this inside of your health. When you really do believe that you don't deserve the body that you want, you'll sabotage your health by like cheating on your diet, right? So like sometimes we honestly just maybe you have addictions to certain things, but we sabotage. I see inside relationships a lot of times. I've been with people that self-sabotage. Like I've dated people that self-sabotage. And people will self-sabotage inside relationships. They'll self-sabotage when it comes to their money. They'll self-sabotage when it comes to their health. You'll see with a lot of people, but that's actually a big point. When we honestly believe we don't deserve something, we're going to self-sabotage our chances of happiness.
That's true, bro. That's true.
Yeah. So by changing the self-talk about life, we can reverse that negative part. But self-sabotage, man, I'm sure you know it.
I know about that at all, bro. And I want to add something real quick because I got some notes too. Because to be honest, keep it real, I didn't do a lot of research for this particular topic because at first I wasn't sure, but then when he told me which was going to be, I'm like, okay, I think I'm okay. But I did a little, just some small like less second notes and stuff like that and research. And so according to some sites and some good sources, so basically, there's no really empirical scientific supporting this, evidence. Again, like we just said earlier. So the law of attraction is what they consider to be pseudoscience, but a lot of the people that advocate, that talk about it, the experts on this field, people, that I guess the leading authorities, there's a lot of people that talk about psychedelics and you could do them and you get awoken, you're more enlightened. Because I've done that, so it's a little different topic, but it's in the same category. Here's the thing, right? Advocates generally combine cognitive reframing techniques, and again, he has affirmations, and he creates visualization to replace limiting destructive thoughts with more empowered, adaptive thoughts. Okay, there we go. Just like we just said. So basically, you replace thoughts like people say bad thoughts to be replaced with like with drugs or with getting high and all that. And this time, you just do it by yourself, bro. You get high on your own. You're getting high. It's you being in a deep state of of meditating, maybe sometimes sleeping, maybe thinking about it. You think about it so much, you're dreaming about it. If you can dream about it, you can achieve it. You know how they always say it's really the simple line. Some people it's cheesy. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Well, this is like 10 times more deep that we're talking about in the sense that like you do what you got to do, but you believe it hard. You don't just believe it. You believe it. You go for it. You do it over and over. You write it on the wall. You become it. Once you become it, live it, then you can actually achieve what you want to achieve, whether it is getting better jobs, better financial opportunities, better, gains, you might, work out, you know what I mean? And like get better, situations, improve your life, but it also causes sacrifice. That's another thing. People want things easy. They think they can just kind of like do the laws of attraction. But I mean, part of it is actually sacrificing things, do what you got to do, whether it's going bed early, you know what I mean? Do the research you got to do, take time to say things, talk to people that understand it like you and understand your vision. Don't hang out people are very, like really doubtful, people that are negative, or I mean, not people that are realists. There's a difference. It can be either way, but people that always, are very skeptical about everything, they're very pessimistic. Try to kind of, if you talk to them, don't try to convince their mind, but just tell them it's how I feel. It's how you feel. Okay, it's cool. But I'm gonna stay right here. Stay on your frequency, on your energy, bro. You'll get there, bro. Everything is like, I'm telling you, that movie yesterday was a dope movie, bro. I hadn't seen a movie that dope in a long time. I'm chilling there, smoking a pen. I'm like, oh man, this movie's good. My boy's like, yo, see this? When hanging out, in his crib, I was like, well, I never seen it. He's like, you never seen Lucy? And he looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, nah, dog, I never seen it. Like, what movie is this? Let's see what the movie's about.
It's ironic. It's ironic how that thing, how it relates to what we're doing today, right? And it's ironic how I have this thing up on my board.
Right. Because last night I didn't know this was a topic. To be honest, I thought it was like an open-ended topic. I wasn't sure exactly before we spoke, like early in the morning and last night. So when it happened, yeah, it's ironic. I didn't know this was gonna be the topic exactly. Then bam, I watched a movie all about again, definitely pseudoscience all the way, and it connects to the Matrix, bro. But I mean, it's a very deep talk, bro. I mean, I could tell stories, but I think we should save my stories for another time. Let's watch the verdict. Let's watch Joe Rogan not get canceled first. Then I can talk about DMT stories. Exactly. But Joe Rogan will be okay though. We talked about it last week. Joe Rogan, I think Joe Rogan passed that big point. That's going back down.
Yeah, guys.
The cancel culture virus kind of left Joe Rogan. They're like, yeah, we can get him. He's got too much of an immune system, but we'll come back. All right.
Exactly.
Cancel culture, bro. It's like a devil.
So you're right, man. You're right. So I just wanted to touch the final two things that I just kind of want to wrap up with here. Is obviously right. I told you here was the catch, right? The catch is that, so Bryce actually said positive thinking leads to positive action. It's right. So you need action. You need to take action. You can't just positively think something and just think it's going to magically happen. This isn't magic that we're dealing with. Ultimately, like we said, positive thinking is the starting the car. It's the oil, it's the gas that fuels the car, and then when you put it in drive, and that's when you start taking action.
You spark the ignition. That's the whole spectrum, bro. That's the whole,
Just using it as an analogy. So tips. So I have some tips here. So for practicing the law of attraction, for what I wrote down, basically these exercises, what they can do is they can help you put it into practice inside your own life. Some of the ideas, and some of these I do on my own. Some of them I don't. Journaling, I try to be consistent with it every day, but there are days, honestly, there are a couple of days this week where I just completely, hopped right into work or started working out in the morning and just did not get to it. But it doesn't really take long. It takes like 5 minutes. Journaling. So I try to do this every day, but I don't always, especially on the weekends. I slip up a lot of times. Writing down your thoughts can help you, with journaling, can help you better learn to recognize your habitual thought patterns. You can start to see things like if you think you're grateful for the same things on different days, you can look back. You're like, wow, I was grateful for that though a week or two ago. You can see whether you tend towards optimism or pessimism, and you can learn more about the changing negative patterns of your thoughts. Because sometimes you might be feeling a certain way. When you journal what you're feeling, then you look back 2 days ago, or you look back like 2 weeks ago, you're like, I was feeling that then too. And you start to like kind of see how you're feeling. It's a diary, like just how you're feeling that day for 5 minutes. It could be important. Making a mood board. I don't do this, but people tend to like something I see is this helps them with this. Creating a visual reminder that helps you maintain positive mindsets, stay motivated, and focus on your goals. I've never created one, but I know some people that do use this. Practice and acceptance. This is a big one. Instead of focusing on what's wrong in the present and what needs to be changed, work on accepting things as the way they are. This doesn't mean you won't continue to work towards a better future and this is going to be like this forever, but it just means that this is the plan right now. You won't get bogged down by wishing for things to be different. And I do that a lot. I'm like, man, if I don't do something like that day or I oversleep, I'm like, what would have happened if I got up at this time? And you accomplish everything else on your to-do list, but you miss that thing. I do this a lot. And I need to be better with this acceptance. It's like, well, you know what? I can change my action moving forward, but I can't change what happened today. You can't change that. You ever sleep on the thing? It's like, well, you can't change it. Just be better tomorrow. And you should be improving every day or trying to.
No, I agree 100%, bro. It comes down to like the saying that like you're a better person than you were yesterday. It's like small steps. Everybody should be a little better, but it takes time. And everybody, I put a post saying that like earlier, like right after no, it was like it might have been the 31st. It's right between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Like before the New Year. I was kind of trolling, making fun of somebody that they wrote it. I mean, it was like a little meme. It wasn't like no one in particular. He said, "Here we go again with that new year, new me bullshit. Yeah. It's gonna be the same old you." And I think our caption, I said, yeah. You know how many times I heard that before? It was a story. It was like a joke kind of, but here's the thing. That's right though. A lot of people will say this, it's a new year, new me, but they stick stuck to their thing and stay stagnant. It's about trying to really be better. Like you probably are not the same Steve that you are, and even me. I'm not the same guy I was a few months ago. Even like early in the year. It's like, even in a 2-3 months period, bro, a lot can change. You know what I mean? You can still, you know what I mean? You can kind of like learn more about yourself. You can things and stuff in your life can open your eyes to see more things out there, man. Let's put it that way. It doesn't have to be always everything's gotta be like a divine enlightenment through some kind of like moment or through a vision you had or a good dream or an experience. It could just be traveling. He opens your eyes to stuff, different stuff like we talked about. It could be a deep conversation. It could be a podcast like this one right now. What we're doing right now, this current recording. It could be a book, like I was just actually what we're talking about here. I was taking a couple of looks at his book here, bro. I should bring this up. We'll do a meeting, bro. Phenomenal book. I mean, I read it before, but did I understand exactly what I read like 5-6 years ago? Probably not, man. I think I understand a little better now that I'm 33, as opposed to when I was like 27, 28. I'm a little wiser now.
Let's do a book on reading. I mean, an episode on reading and books and audiobooks and stuff. We've never actually done that, I don't think so. We'll have to do that in the future.
We would have to do that, and it'll be very good to do that. I think it will suit us very well, and it'll be a great episode. We need more episodes like this. We have a lot of people here. I mean, I can't name everybody, but I mean, shout out everybody. William, Bryce, my man Marius, my girl D'Angela.
Yeah, Bill
and watching. Bill watching too.
Bill and Marius actually know each other, so we all went to high school together. So
yeah, that's right. Class of
Marius went to judge too. Bill and Marius, Bill Plymouth is watching in too. So I mean, they actually know each other.
They know each other. Good. We got to get more people to watch us, but yeah, everybody's watching, bro. Like I said, man, it's like we kind of like do it for you guys and for us because this is a really good topic, and we haven't covered a lot of this, and these are kind of tough topics, a little not necessarily touchy topics, but very touchy in the sense of like we want to express ourselves the best we can. No misinformation, nothing. Oh, we heard this. We heard this was from a good source because it's already skepticism. It's pseudoscience. It's not like it's kind of proven, but not exactly. It's almost like faith. Remember, somebody right here. I forgot where. Let me see in the comment section somewhere.
Yeah, I just want to. As you're looking back on that, I just want to read on Bill's thing right here. So Bill put acceptance equals the acceptance of everything, the good and the bad. Don't get bogged down with accepting bad decisions. That is so much that you ultimately forget to accept the good things that you did. Very important. I ultimately try to be better with that myself. I'm a positive thinker, but sometimes you start to just, I don't know. I guess it's just like an obsession type of thing. Like I have sometimes I know if I don't do something, I'm gonna obsess about this the rest of the day. David Goggins says he does that too. He's like, oh, if I miss a workout, I know I'm gonna be thinking, why the hell didn't I work out like that morning? It's sometimes that's good.
He's one of them people, bro. He's very into that.
Sometimes it's going to be obsessive, but you just need to find a counter. You got to find a balance. You can't obsess too much. I 100% agree with what you said there, Bill. As long as you can focus on the good more than you're focusing on the negative, it's very important. Yes, 100%. You should not be focusing on the negative everything because guess what? That's going to change your mood, and guess what? It might affect you the next day because you're in a certain type of mood. It's going to affect your energy the next day, and then what happens? It's a repetitive cycle. Is this constant days you're not doing what you want to do and put what you're setting out to do each day.
Two things, bro, real quick. Yeah, I need to cut you off or nothing. I mean, if you finish, go ahead. What you saying? Okay. So 2 things. Number one, I know you say you got to go in a little bit. It's 46. We probably have a few more minutes, but we're going to finish strong.
Yeah.
Number 2, it's very essential that this stuff we're talking about, and even the guys are watching, it's very important to do it every day. Get up in the morning. Just try to. I know it's hard sometimes. Sometimes you even have motivation. You get up, especially get up late. You're like, oh, like I'm the same way, bro. I got up at 12. I'm like, good, geez, did I just fucking spend like all these hours sleeping? Like what you could have been doing then? What would I be doing if I wasn't sleep? Well, I could go to the gym. Do you know how good it felt to go to when I went to Florida? When I got up at 8 o'clock, bro, and I worked out 8:30, bro. I didn't get up that early to work out in a while. I mean, I get up early, but not like that early to work. I usually get up for work. I work out later. Morning workouts are by far the best. It's my favorites. I love night too, but the morning's a different feel. It's like that chi, that yin and yang, the night and the day. You're a little different in the night. It's just part of how we're as people. The night affects different than the day. I mean, it's it's been kind of like said. It's been kind of proven too. I mean, some people don't believe in that.
It starts your day. It starts your day. It starts your day in a positive direction. Momentum. You know what I mean? It builds momentum.
The momentum it's amazingly. It's how can I say? It's the most essential thing there is out there. You start your day like that, bro. Your whole day will go in an amazing way. I could just see how Florida was. It's different when you're in a hotel. You got to check out, so you got to move very quickly. But even at home, you get up, go to the gym, come back, take care of stuff, get your business out the way. You make your bed. Making your bed, bro. Something that's simple. It's number one thing. You got to start your day by making your bed early. Don't make your bed at like 10 in the night. Do it like in the morning. As soon as you get up, try to use the bathroom, make your bed. I think we had one of our very first episodes was like what we do when we first get up in the morning. Some of our routines. Remember that? It was like number 3 or 2 or something like that.
I make my bed every single day. I'm not happy if I don't.
Yeah, well, I feel the same way like that, bro. Unfortunately, today was hard because I make a lot of beds at the house, so I got to do all of them.
What were you saying? Actually, there's a great book out there by William McRaven. It's called Make Your Bed. Guys, highly recommend. It's actually a quick read.
I know that book.
That long. It's called Make Your Bed.
It talks about how it makes you feel better. Like, because even if you have a rough day, when you make your bed, your bed is made, it's clean. All you gotta do is just lay on it a little bit. I mean, you might mess it up a little, but you can still make your bed. But if your bed is a mess, it's like something where actually this is real shit though. This ain't no made up. I'm just saying this, so I'm repeating what I said, what I heard. It's like a psychological thing where you see your bed made, it looks, you know what I mean? It looks good, like it just feels better to you. You know what I mean? It's like your day starts much better. You feel more accomplished.
Here's an important quote I heard from somebody one time. What the guy said was, make your bed every single morning. Because even if you go out and you have a crappy day that day, everything doesn't go your way. At least you come home to a made bed.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody said it, like a Navy guy was saying on a motivational video, like a speech. He was saying that.
You probably heard the same thing I heard. You probably heard the same thing I heard.
Yeah, I think it's make your bed. Exactly what he said. It's like if you come, even if your day's a bad day, guess what? Your bed is made. You actually feel good about yourself.
And this guy in the book, William McRaven, he's actually an admiral. He's a military guy. So as you know, in the military, they're strict. You have to make your bed. You get reprimanded if you don't do things like that.
Yeah.
So
you gotta be quick.
He's an admiral. Yeah, you get in trouble if you don't do things like that. Especially from my guys I know that are in the military. Shout out to the United States Marine Corps, the United States Army. Got some boys over there. The Navy, Navy SEALs, Coast Guard, Air Force. Shout out to all you guys. Also, shout out to our Philly police officers as well. I make my bed each day. It changes the feel in the room. Plus, it's more pleasant when I get back from work. It's kind of like that guy said, even if you had a stressful day, at least you come home to a made bed. So that's psychological. I know some people I know. I'm not going to put them on blast because people are a little bit that don't make their bed.
Their beds.
Right? But you know what? They're still productive people. They just don't make their bed. They don't care.
Honestly, but it's a bad habit, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little like that sometimes too. I've been phenomenal making my bed in the last like 4 or 5 years, even before that. But for a long time, I would kind of get up and not really make my bed, or I'll kind of get lazy with it. It might not seem like a lot, but it's a very important thing, bro. In the military, they do that, bro. In prison, making you do your bed. In certain schools, and also when you're like young guys that like don't have parents, especially if you're under 18, they get you in like orphanage schools and all. They make you do that shit. It toughens you up. It's like you grow quicker than you have to grow. You're 17 going on
exactly
25 instead of 17 going 18.
Guys, just want to touch on my last point here, guys. We're gonna wrap up over the next 10 minutes because I actually have to be out by 8 o'clock. So we're gonna get ready to wrap up. And man, George, I really liked a lot of the stuff you offered tonight, man, because we've actually been kind of able to feed off each other. I think this was a good topic. The last thing 100%, bro. The last thing I just want to touch on is just the pitfalls of the law of attraction. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't being transparent here. So, as I said, with the action portion, one problem with books such as like The Secret, as well as with some people's interpretation of law of attraction, is it suggested the belief that good things will come to us. Good things will come to us that will bring us what we desire without any sort of action behind that belief. So, actually, believe it or not, that's what The Secret kind of talks about. We don't need any action. 100% disagree with that. Say it is flawed. It is an optimistic viewpoint that drives proactive behaviors like that. In turn, ultimately, optimists don't receive their benefits from their attitudes alone, though. People need to understand that it's the behavior, the attitudes inspire that creates the real change. So, like Bryce said, it's that behavior that help you to inspire that real change, that help you to carry out that action. In order for beliefs to affect behavior, George, these are a lot of things we've talked about in multiple different episodes. Important things to understand. Things you need to have are goals, mindfulness, commitment, motivation, timelines, challenges, and support.
All that. They're all important, bro, I think I would say.
Action and intent. Live life with intent. You need to have actions behind what you want.
You got to see yourself going somewhere. You know what I tell you, bro? When you see yourself in 5 years, so why? Check this out. I got this a joke from somebody, actually a famous fighter. they asked him, what is 75 years? And he's like, well, I'm 22, so I'll be like 27. Somebody asked me that one time, he's like, 25. He's like, so George, a guy, he's like a friend of mine, but like a counselor, works at a school, at a college,
Counselor.
Older guy. Right, he's a counselor, right? He's a counselor, like a school counselor. He's like, George, so what is this help me like 5 years? And I was like, well, I'm 25 years old. I said, in 5 years, I'll see myself be 30. I'll see myself at 30. I was being sarcastic, being the smartest. He's like, he's really funny. He said, no, but really, what do you see yourself? Do you have like a 5-year plan? And I was like, I kind of do. I said, I want to finish college. Said, get back, group of things, accomplish things. So I feel like at the time I told them, I'm 33 now. This is like when I was 25. I was like, at 30, you're kind of like at a good age where you know what you want in life a little. You can attract things, and you're still old enough to have done a few things and experience and have some kind of experience in some stuff, but also young enough to still learn and that word. Because sometimes people when they get older, bro. I mean, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes people do get closed-minded. I mean, even people used to like see a lot of things because they get older and not only the brains don't function the same, but they kind of like they get relaxed, they settle down, they're like, yeah, I had this idea, but whatever. And they kind of kill dreams, and I mean, I don't agree with that. I think it's important to stay on your course and try to achieve what you got to achieve by a certain age. I'm not saying that things don't change. You might lose interest in stuff, new interests come in and all that. But just, don't be like those people that they get older, like, I was my young days, I had my dreams. The worst thing you can do is live with regret, bro. Be like 70, 75, maybe even 80 years old. You're like, when I was like 40, I could have done this. And I had this thought at 30. At 35, I got a little whatever. By the time I was 41, I was married. I didn't care no more. And I said, fuck it. Nah, don't be that guy. Just go for it. I mean, live your dreams. So I think this episode could teach you that, like, you can always live your dreams. You can achieve them through the power of the laws of attraction, positive thinking, but through, again, inspiration and motivation and actually getting up and doing things. You got it. We need motivation. We need discipline. We need drive, push. All those things can be considered motivation, but I consider them all synonyms. But I mean, very similar. I mean, because even discipline, it's connects to motivation. I mean, no matter what. I mean, I know David Goggins can say one thing, but I don't hang by everything that somebody says. Even though I'm a huge David Goggins supporter, but I mean, I'm George Metcha. I'm not David Goggins. You know what I mean? So that's just what I see it as. But it's good to learn, be inspired. Like I told you even last weekend. Even I think I told you behind the scenes. I even told Dan. I like Joe Rogan. I like his podcast. He's very informative. I can't say I agree with what he says. Even stuff that looks like they're logical, he might say them a certain way. I see him a little differently. But for the most part, he's gassed. And what he says, to me, it's accurate. It's pretty good. And it's good information. It's not, minus the one, I guess, that the episode we got flagged on, that BS, the COVID thing. That's another whole other topic. But for the most part, I learned from those episodes. And I don't really, I take it with a grain of salt. I try to understand what he's saying. If I don't agree with it, I try to do research. I don't just like disagree right away. I don't agree with it. Too easy, that was the old me. I'm trying to get. All right, I don't agree with it. Why don't I agree with it? Let me see, because sometimes things are not what they seem, bro. And also, in order to make the laws of attraction work, the laws of power and all that, bro, you gotta have open mind, bro. I mean, I think that comes to gratitude, open mind, all that. It's kind of all you all need that, Step out your comfort zone, ask for help, learn new things. Learn new things, bro, will actually project you to what you want to be. So the law of attraction to project you there. If it's something you desire, but you gotta learn something to get like a skill, guess what? You're gonna learn that skill. You're gonna go there and do what you gotta do.
Exactly, bro. You hit the nail on the head.
I think that's important, Like you said, only problem with books is sometimes people can misinterpret them a little. So it's very important to kind of like know what you're talking about and to get the best out of books. Like get the understand them really well, read them again. You read one thing, guess what? You're not gonna understand. You gotta read it twice, bro. Even a small line. I go back and listen to songs again. Or I go back to look at read stories, articles, comments, things that I didn't grasp. Because it is true, it goes over your head sometimes. You don't quite grasp it sometimes. The naked eye and the naked mind, simple time, you're not gonna get it. I might say a quick quote to you. You might hear something, a wise guy telling us one thing. We think we understand it, we didn't really get it right away. Or we kind of got it partially. You gotta repeat that. Like, I repeat. He says slowly. This and this. Oh, okay. It makes sense. That's what I'm saying, man. Learn from people. I mean, older people know a lot of shit, so you can learn from people that have been there. You can learn by listening, by watching, by asking questions. You can learn from all these things.
Exactly, man. We learn from each other. Oh man. Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap up in like the next couple minutes here. Man, I guess it was a good episode. I was happy we're actually able to get around to it, guys. If you want to see more content like this, you can always just DM us or drop it on the Facebook page or wherever you want to message us. Just let us know, because this was an interesting one, because I think we covered the majority of the stuff of the law of attraction. There's so many different laws out there.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, we can't really cover in one episode.
I think we covered a lot on this, especially for one episode. We definitely went through a lot of stuff here.
we're 10 mark. We covered a good amount of material, a healthy amount of material and content. We hope to bring some good stuff to you guys. I mean, you had some really good points, bro. And I mean, I know people in the comment sections and our live stream here, live chat, super chat. They're definitely
in the super chats, man. I really just want to give a shout out to everybody that commented in tonight. So D'Angela, Bill,
Marius, Bill,
Bryce, Marius,
all the people are watching.
Yeah, all you guys who commented in tonight, appreciate all of yous for commenting in and joining our live stream here. And if you're watching this after the fact, I always say this: we don't really get comments a lot of times after. I know people that will watch us later, but don't really comment in. So if you are watching this right now and it's later on, comment down below. We still like to see your feedback because we like to see how everybody reacts to this type of stuff. I'm always interested because people around me who I know, like how they see this, how they see certain topics. I'm always curious. So guys, drop your feedback. We always appreciate it. It's everybody that
definitely, guys.
Appreciate you.
Feedback is always important, even if it's not good feedback. I mean,
it allows us to be better too. It allows us to be better and more understand kind of our audience. So.
We just want to learn as we go because I mean, we're still learning, even about laws of attraction. It's like we know everything. I've read about them. I got books and research, and guess what? There's so much more because at the end of the day, the laws of attraction, bro, are the universe. It's the laws of power. They're infinite. It never ends. That's our knowledge. Knowledge is infinite. I mean, when we die, bro, we go back to where we came from. They say, you go back to the universe. So that's what the whole quote. There's a quote that says, space is my birthplace. Meditating the cocoons. Now see snakes in human costumes. That's actually a very good song by a Wu-Tang affiliate. It's called 60 Second Assassin and Killer Priest. They're actually Wu-Tang affiliates. They're part of the Wu-Tang clan. They're like affiliate rappers. You have the 9 generals and you have like the other guys. The generals are the main guys in the Wu-Tang clan, from Method Man all the way to Ghostface. So these guys, they got a song called Tai Chi, and it's about, it's Killer Priest. It's about the inner self, and it's very, very deep. If you look at the lyrics on Genius, you understand, because people used to be like to me, yo, George, what does it mean when it says 7.5 are contained? 7.5, it's the belief of the 5%ers. For those who know about the 5%ers, they believe that the brain weighs 7.5. It's actually 7.5, like pounds. So they believe that that's how the brain is 7.5, 7.5, and it's the mathematics, which means like it's part of like their knowledge. They're the daily mathematics because they have knowledge of self. One of my boys, my man El Shaborn, he's a 5%er. A couple of my friends are, but 5%er, they're from New York. There's the Philly too. They're like similar to Muslim dudes, but they're not Muslims. They're a little different. It's like that's what they call the 5%ers because they're like a little different beliefs, but they're in the same sort of like family of faith of religions. It's like it's a sect. It's kind of like a faith in a way. It's kind of like more like a group of people that believe some stuff. It's ideologies. Obviously, it's kind of like religion too. But I mean, or it is religion because you can say, am I 5% or no? Do I know people there? Yes. You know what I mean? But that's just how it is. So.
True. Yeah, true, man. What's wrong with that?
Always, bro. It's been a pleasure, man. I mean, it's definitely good stuff, man. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to cover? I think we covered a good amount. We kind of went through everything. Time is just ready for you to go because you got to go soon, you said. So.
Yeah. I think we covered pretty much the majority of what we're going to cover tonight. So I'm good with wrapping up here if you're fine with that, man.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too because I actually got to get going too, bro. We have some meetings to take care of this weekend. We're going to crush them. Again, much appreciation to everybody watching. If you guys watch after the fact, it's cool. We have 69 episodes. I mean, you can watch a lot of them. We're moving up fast, and we bring this we could do stuff like this. I mean, weekly. Could probably do it daily too, but I mean, right now we're just trying to bring you guys some of the best content. We have a lot more to bring you and some guests. And if anybody there that wants to be on the podcast is watching, wants to come, let us know. I mean, contact us, me and Steve, or somebody that's close to us that watches, on the group that watches the episodes all the time. You know what I mean? Some people, of course, have been on a podcast. Some haven't. As far from people that are watching right now, but we're getting a nice amount, so we're trying to keep it moving. And we will be having some guests for you guys for sure, and we're pushing it to bring you more work. It's not just me and Steve, but it's everybody, bringing something.
100%. 100%, man.
Sounds good, man. All right,
well, guys. Again, we appreciate you. Anybody was watching us tonight, appreciate you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Everybody, anybody who's watching us after the fact, appreciate you as well. I just want to say, George, have a great weekend, my guy. It's everybody else have a great weekend. But George, I know I'll be seeing you actually over the weekend. So
I'll see you, bro. If I don't, we have a meeting. If I don't see you, probably, we'll push it back for something. But we also got to do a couple things. We got a couple monthly meetings. We'll get some stuff done, bro. And yeah, man. Think smart, think big, think fast, and just achieve it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it, And if you can achieve it, you can keep doing that, You can just the sky's the limit, like as cliche as it sounds, but the sky really is the limit, like B.I.G. said. So
100%.
We in there. We're still in it to win there, bro. We're still trying to get things going. So, all right, bro. Well, I won't hold you up too much, man. I gotta get going. Just give me a shout, and then we'll see. We'll take it from there. Because we got to stop playing. And again, guys, believe it or not, the next episode has been already planned. So we can't give too many secrets away, but we always try to do things in the head because there's a lot going on that you guys don't see behind the scenes. So.
Sounds good. Well, all right, guys. Have a great night. George, same to you, my friend. And always remember, appreciate time, appreciate life.
All right, bro. Appreciate your time, and thanks, guys, for watching. All right, bro. Take it easy. Let me know. And all right, hit me up. Stay in touch. All right.